In the early 70s or the mid 70s, when you kind of happened, I know you've been playing longer than that, but when you happened on the scene in New York City, did you realize that what you guys were doing was kind of revolutionary? Did you know that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I did. Maybe nobody else did, but I did, because I decided it was all going to happen when I was 15.
Right.
I can't describe this. This is it's such a weird thought philosophy. But you can find it in the Bible. I don't mean it to be religious. It's not religious, but Jesus said if you had faith as big as like that, and you told the mountain move, it would. And so when I was 15, I had never wished for anything. So I made a wish, and it was how my life was going to look in the future. And I was going to be a world-renowned electric lead guitar player who had a principal part in changing the structure of rock music, and I didn't have a clue what that meant. That was a wish, and it came true.
Did you, like, I had a similar experience, but did you tell people? Like, did you go and tell your brother or your dad or somebody, say, look, this is what I want to do?
People used to ask me, what are you going to be when you grow up? And I'd say, I already am what I'm going to be when I grow up. And they go, huh?
Right.
And they'd say, well, what are you? And I said, I'm a world-class, famous, legendary lead guitar player. And they said, you can't even play it. And I'd say, so what? The world will turn, and when it turns enough, there'll be a doorknob in front of me. And, and I'll open it, and everything I say will come true. And they all laughed, and I said, in the meantime, I'll practice.
Yeah.
Which is all I did, My cousins wanted to form a rockabilly band. So when I was about 10, I went over for a sleepover, and it was pass the guitar around, and I was salivating. I mean, literally drooling to get my hands on it. And my cousin taught me 3 chords, G, C, D, and I would have to go like this to get a C, and then I would have to go to get back to G, and then it would be like, oh shit, D, and they said, would you cut that crap out? We're trying to sleep. This is like 2 a.m. So I went in the bathroom. Next thing I know, there's a knock on the door, and it's like, what? I said, I gotta use the bathroom. It's the morning. I said, it's the what? Because the bathroom had a shade, so I didn't know. I had played those 3 chords all night long.
Your lessons, like you often teach sort of fundamental, this is the way you can understand the instrument. How much of that do you think is relevant to being a songwriter, or like if you want to use your guitar just enough to get yourself to the point that you can write songs, how much of the information that you provide do you think is necessary?
None of it.
Okay, so it would be more. It's more. This is for people who want to take the guitar as far as they can as an instrument.
Listen, when people come to see me, I say, listen, this is up in pitch, and this is down, and that's vertical.
All right.
The knowledge to go, some of his. Yeah, that vertical knowledge.
Why do you call that vertical knowledge? I don't understand.
I'll give you the best example I know. It was in 1970, and I was in Boston, and I was at the Jazz Workshop on Boylston Street at a John Lee Hooker concert. And I was backstage sitting there just minding my own business like I always do. And he's talking, and then he turns over, and I'm like twice as far away. And he says, and what's your name, Sonny? And I said, Richard. And he said, Richard, what you do? And I said, well, I play guitar. And he said, well, are you good? And I said, well, you know, he said, no, no, no. You one of the greats. I sees it. I sees it. You don't never say that. You one of the greats. Now get over here. I'll tell you the secret of playing the electric guitar. And so I saddled over, and I literally sat right next to him and he went like this. He says, all them cats playing the 6-string guitar, Richard, they ain't shit. I tell you the secret of playing electric guitar. You take all the string off but one. Then you learn that one string up and down and down and up and up and down and down and up, and you bend it and you shake it, and you bend it and shake it till the women go, woo! I mean, this is verbatim. And then he says, then you put on a 2nd string, man, and you learn them 2 strings, up and down and down and up and down, and bend them and shake them until the woman go, woo! And the man go, ah. And Richie, by the time you get to 6th string, you'll be a master.